Jane, if you want to start welcoming in people.
Yeah, absolutely. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. You're very welcome along to the Webwise Teachers webinar, the final webinar in the Be Kind series. And this series is hosted by the Irish Safer Internet Centre to mark Safer Internet Day, which took place on Tuesday. I'm going to get started promptly because we do hope to finish by 8:15. My name is Jean. I am the project coordinator with Webwise. I oversee the development and delivery of Webwise, the online safety initiative of the Department of Education. I'll hand you over to my team for introductions.
Thanks, Jane.
You
go first, Tracy.
Hi everyone, I'm Tracy Hogan. I'm the Education Officer at Webwise. So my remit is around the development of our educational resources and the coordination of our youth programs, so our youth advisory panel and our Safer Internet Day Ambassador program. I'm delighted to be here with you this evening, and I'm going to pass over to my colleague Katrina now.
Thanks, Tracy. Hi there, my name is Katrina Mulcahy. I am the Digital Content Officer with Webwise. I joined the project in 2019 and my remit is around digital content creation and promotion, including involvement in our awareness raising campaigns, and also delighted to be here this evening and really appreciate that people have taken the time to join.
Thanks, Katrina. Just a bit of housekeeping before we get started. We are going to finish at 8:15 promptly, and for all attendees, just a note of reassurance. This is a conference style setup, so the audience, you'll only be able to see the speakers. We're not able to see or hear participants, but we really do encourage engagement throughout. There's a chat function there to ask questions. Please use that. You'll see the wee chat box down at the bottom of your screen. Katrina is going to be keeping an eye on the questions coming in throughout the evening. Where possible, she's going to answer the questions directly, but we are going to have time to take some questions and answers at the end. We're conscious there might be a lot of questions coming in, so we might group them together under themes and try to answer as many as possible. So you're very welcome along this evening, and as the team said, we're delighted to welcome you here, and thank you for taking the time for joining us. The aim of the session this evening is this is an information session for teachers on the Webwise programme, the resources available, and look into the topic of online wellbeing and how we can help our students manage their online wellbeing and build digital resilience, a topic that's particularly relevant given the current circumstances we find ourselves in. A little bit about the programme before we get started. So Webwise is the Internet Safety Awareness Centre. We're responsible for promoting safer, better internet use among young people. We're a member of the Irish Safer Internet Centre, so we work with our partners ISPCC Childline, the National Parents Council Primary and Hotline.ie on awareness raising and online safety. We're part of the Professional Development Service for teachers as well, so this is an in-school support service. And our core areas of work are we develop education programs that help teachers integrate online safety and digital citizenship into teaching and learning. These programs are all free to access via our website, and I will talk to you a little bit about them later on in a few minutes. We also provide teacher training and CPD. This is provided through our colleagues in the Professional Development Service for teachers. Schools and teachers can access in-school supports from the digital technologies and health and wellbeing teams in the PDST. And we also have free internet safety online courses available for teachers via teachercpd.ie. We are going to highlight the links at the end of this as well. So for any teachers new to the area of internet safety, there's two excellent courses offered on that. So there's a course for primary school teachers and there's a online course for post-primary teachers on introducing internet safety into the SPHE classroom. Very worthwhile courses. We also do youth training programs for post-primary students. Each year we recruit 100 students to lead online safety initiatives in their own school as part of the Safer Internet Day Ambassador Programme. And that's a great way to get students involved in online safety and take a leading role in issues that are important to them. We're also supported by a youth advisory panel. They input into all areas of our work, and it's really important that the student voice is heard throughout all areas of our work. They are an excellent support to our programme. We're also responsible for the promotion and coordination of Safer Internet Day in Ireland, which took place on Tuesday. This is a really great way for schools to get involved in online safety and to dedicate some time each year in the calendar to looking at online safety. Online safety isn't confined to just one day a year. We very much recognise that, but it is a good way to get students involved and to dedicate some time to looking at online safety. And what I would say is, even though it's just passed, it's not too late to get involved. We have a hub, webwise.ie/Safer Internet Day, with ready-made activities and lessons. So if you missed out on Tuesday, there is still time to get involved. I would recommend taking a look at that hub. There's lots of great free information and resources there. Finally, we offer information and advice for parents via our hub, and I'll talk to you a little bit about that later on in the presentation. Before we get into the topic of helping students manage their online wellbeing, we would like to remind teachers and educators of some of the supports that are available for schools engaged in remote and distance learning via our colleagues in the Professional Development Service for Teachers. So our colleagues in the digital technologies team are currently providing virtual drop-in clinics. If you have a question regarding digital tech for distance learning, and this can be booked via the PDST website, we'll put up a link at the end of the presentation so you can take note of that. There's also an amazing distance learning resources hub from the PDST. That's at pdst.ie/distance learning. There's some excellent resources and advice to support the area of remote learning. Under our website, webwise.ie, under the teachers advice section, you'll also find safe remote learning considerations and advice on leading live lessons, safety considerations, and tips for updating privacy settings, things like that. Our colleagues also in schoolnet.ie, this is the Department of Education's official online portal for Irish education, and contains over 20,000 resources mapped to the curriculum. So that's another excellent support for teachers in this current space as well. So as I mentioned, online safety or online wellbeing is one of our big topics this year. We look at it, each year we run an awareness raising campaign, and I suppose that was our starting point for this topic this year. So each year we run an awareness raising campaign, and it targets teens on a topic that is important to them. In previous years, we've addressed cyberbullying, online harassment, online exploitation and coercion, and the non-consensual sharing of intimate images among teens. Our most recent campaign, The Full Picture, which we launched in September, focuses on online wellbeing. And with our young people spending more time than ever online this year, we thought it was a very important topic. And the topic was actually selected by our youth advisory panel. It was an issue that they've been very vocal on since the beginning of the pandemic in March. And I've been involved in every stage of the campaign development, ensuring the youth voice was central throughout. The aim of the campaign is to explore how young people connect and share on social media, the influences and pressures they face, and the impact this can have on a young person's self-esteem and well-being when they're exposed to content that promotes an idealistic image or lifestyle standard. Our objective was to encourage and empower young people to think critically about the content that is encountered online, whether it's from influencers, celebrities, the media, and also from their own peers. The focal point of the campaign is a short film which highlights that social media is often a platform for sharing the best parts of our lives, but not everything we see online tells the whole story. In our teen campaigns, we do take great care in avoiding messages that are preachy or judgmental, and this campaign celebrates the power of social media. Social media has many benefits, like the internet, for young people. It's really important that we recognize that, and the film also encourages people to think critically about what they see in their news feeds. It's supported by advice on managing your online well-being, filtering myth from reality, and also outlining the role that algorithms have in determining what people see in their news feed. I'm going to play the film for you now. I hope you enjoy it. For post-primary teachers, this is an excellent video to start off a discussion on how young people use social media and how to manage your online well-being. It's also going to be supported by some lesson materials which will be available on our website. So I'm just going to share my screen and hopefully you'll be able to see and hear the video.
See you, Bob.
Right, everyone say hi. My new shoes. Remember guys, stay true, be you, and keep smiling.
So I'm going to stop sharing that now and I'll get off my presentation and hand over to you if that's okay, Tracy.
Yep, that's great. Thanks, Jane.
No bother.
Yeah, so the video there, the full picture, as Jane mentioned earlier, was really informed by our youth panelists and the feedback that we get from them. And it was something that we wanted to do was really highlight kind of the online influences and pressures that young people can feel when they're online. So I'm going to take you through some advice on what we can give to our young people and our students about managing their online well-being. A lot of the advice I'm going to go through here is mentioned and covered in a lot more detail in Module 1, Online Wellbeing, of our connected resource, and Jane's going to take you through our resource suite in more detail after this. So when we're thinking about what does well-being mean for our students in general, the NCCA guidelines describe well-being for our students as student well-being is present when students realize their abilities, take care of their physical well-being, can cope with the normal stresses, and have a sense of purpose and belonging to a wider community. And I think we can say this is fair to say that this is all just as important in the online environment as well. And as technology is a significant part of our lives, it's also important to recognize the impact it can have on how we feel. Online well-being is about being aware of how being online can make us feel and making sure we look after ourselves and others online. And this can include paying attention to the impact it has on our mental and our physical health, and really helping our students identify and know how to cope with difficult experiences they may experience from time to time online. So we really want to empower our students to be able to manage their own online well-being. And like I said, within this resource goes into a lot of detail on how to help our students do that. So just to kind of identify what does online well-being mean to our students? When we run our youth programs, we asked our students for feedback, our young people for feedback on online well-being. What does it mean to them? And these comments here are captured responses from our young people. So I'm just going to take you through some of them here. So online well-being is not letting the time you spend online negatively affect you, and knowing what makes you unhappy or uncomfortable online in order to avoid it, and surround yourself with positive content. Being aware about what effect being online has on you and being able to manage it accordingly by either limiting your time on social media or deleting certain apps off your phone. And to me, online well-being means being and feeling safe on the internet. However, it also means having fun and enjoying the resources that are available. Online activities should be safe and fun for everyone, as it is a great tool to have. And to me, it means being able to live offline without thinking about being online. And I think there are some really, mature responses from our young people on what online well-being means to them. Um, so I suppose we want to consider kind of being online and what does that mean as well. So being online, I suppose we always kind of frame the conversation on online safety with our young people in keeping the perspective that, the internet is a brilliant resource that provides opportunities for connection, for creativity, for learning, for entertainment. Now more than ever during COVID-19, we are all turning to the internet to help us keep in touch with loved ones and friends, to help us to continue to be able to learn, to work, to play, and to really understand what's happening in the world around us. The internet is that tool that helps us do that. And whenever we're talking, having these conversations on online safety and online well-being, it's important to keep perspective that for the vast majority, the internet provides a positive and very useful experience. And it's important to keep that kind of overall holistic approach to well-being, and keep in mind that what happens online is often can be an extension of what is happening offline as well. So it's really about helping our students identify, what are potential stressors or challenges that they may face in the online environment. And when we're talking about that, we're talking about digital stress. And digital stress refers to the stress that we can get from using digital devices, so our smartphones or laptops or tablets, etc. And that could be something as simple as, a bad internet connection, um, signal dropping when you're trying to have a video chat with friends or family, and also the stress to the stress that we can get from using digital media. So being on social media, online games, messenger apps, and that can range from, again, as Jane mentioned earlier, anything from body positivity, self-esteem online, to cyberbullying. So it's kind of really about kind of helping our students kind of identify and recognize what are the potential challenges or stressors that they may face online as well. And we wanted to share with you some feedback that our young people shared as well on that. So we have some comments here. So I think it's really interesting to hear their perspectives on it as well. So any form of trolls or bullying can cause multiple problems such as anxiety. Also, seeing online images can cause people to hold themselves to unrealistic standards. Feeling a pressure to constantly be plugged in and communicating with friends online. On the flip side of that, lack of tone can lead to really long and painful arguments. The comments below it's harder to convey emotion. So that kind of miscommunication that can happen online or through texting as well. The pressure to follow certain trends and live up to unrealistic standards, and coming across upsetting content. On the other side of that, constantly kind of scrolling and feeling like you've wasted lots of time doing nothing online. Too much screen time can cause people to become addicted to a device. So when the device is taken away, it can cause anger or stress or anxiety from being away and being without the device. And insecurity is one of the biggest stressors in my experience. Body image and self-doubt start to creep in when everyone else is trying to act as perfect as everyone else. Someone is always trying to be someone else they think is perfect. So this real kind of pressure to fit in and kind of keep up with the Joneses online is something that's really coming through in the young people's comments here. And something that we talk to our young people about is developing this resilience, this idea of resilience and a digital resilience. And it's about resilience is not about trying to be so tough that nothing impacts us. It's about talking to our young people that resilience is not about putting up with things either. We want to kind of help them understand that resilience is the ability to recover from setbacks. You know, it's okay to feel sad or angry or happy or worried. It's how we respond and adapt that is really the key. And digital resilience is that ability to bounce back from difficult times online over time. So it's about kind of helping our students build that resilience. And there are three main ways that we talk to our students about managing their online well-being. And I'm just going to briefly kind of talk to you about them here and give you some tips from each of them. And like I said, in our connected resource, these are covered in a lot more detail. So the first is recognizing it's important to make time for rest and reflection so that you have a healthy balance of activities in your life on and offline. So these can be things as simple as, you know, turning off your notifications so you're not getting that anxiety of a constant ping going off on your phone and feeling like you have to constantly check it when you get a notification. We're hearing more now than ever that sleep is really important and that healthy nighttime routine. So logging out your social media, perhaps turning off Wi-Fi on your phone or turning off your phone at bedtime. Reminding our young people that it's important to take occasional breaks from devices and social media. Even when you're waking up in the morning, that idea of trying to switch your brain on first before you switch your phone on, so that the phone isn't the first thing you check the minute you've opened your eyes. The second is through changing your habits and attitudes to make the most of your time online. So these can be things like create a social media presence that is true to you. So kind of avoiding that pressure to fit in with how other people are presenting themselves online. Unfollow accounts that lead you to make unhealthy or unrealistic comparisons. So kind of identifying perhaps accounts or apps or whatever it might be that are causing students to do that. And really helping them focus on the benefits and the positives that can happen from being online. So searching for new perspectives, focusing on the positive and productive content that can be out there on social media and on the internet. And also to kind of, you know, be in the moment and enjoy things as they're happening. I remember one time a youth panelist talked about how they felt like, you know, when they went to a concert, the whole concert was uploaded on social media, they saw it on stories, and they decided that, you know, they realized they wanted to kind of enjoy and be in the moment when they were going to, for example, a concert. So they kind of said that, you know, they wanted to just take 3 pictures and 1 video when they went to a gig and then put the phone away for the rest of it and actually enjoy it. So that way they captured memories, but then they also were in the moment and enjoyed it as well. So just a nice tip from our youth panel. The third kind of area we talk about in terms of managing our online well-being is time management. So this idea that if your time is better organized, your online life won't get in the way of other things you need to do. So talking to students about the idea of, you know, prioritizing what's the most important thing going on in their life first, you know, making those to-do lists, deciding perhaps specific times when they want to go online or when they want to check their phone throughout the day. Even something as simple as setting a time notification on apps that they use, and kind of trying to reduce that time slightly, or, you know, make better productive use of the time that they are online. So there are just some kind of, as I mentioned there, some tips and ideas to get started with, you know, having this conversation in terms of managing online well-being with young people in your life, with your students. And as I said, a lot of this is covered in much more detail in Module 1, online wellbeing, of our most recent post-primary resource, Connected. And I'm going to pass back to Jane now, who's going to take you through our online safety resources in a lot more detail now.
Thanks very much, Tracy. And I think it was really important to kind of include and highlight the student feedback in that. It's really important. So as I mentioned, gremlins are here tonight. Apologies. As I mentioned, we develop and disseminate curriculum aligned resources to help schools integrate internet safety and digital citizenship into teaching and learning. The majority of our resources align to the SPHE curriculum. Some are cross-curricular. I'm going to take you through our post-primary resources that we have. The most recent one, and Tracy talked a lot about the content of module 1, is the Connected program. That's a junior cycle digital media literacy program. It's aligned to the junior cycle digital media literacy short course, and the aim of this program is to provide students with an understanding of the role of digital technologies in their lives, how those digital technologies work, and to help them become safe, responsible users of digital technologies, and also to understand their rights in the digital world. This program contains 5 modules, and they explore some really kind of current areas of internet and digital media literacy. It's a really up-to-date program. So module 1 is all about helping students manage their online well-being. There's also an excellent short film in there, similar to the full picture, called Connected, which looks at respectful communication and online harassment. Again, another really important topic for our teenagers and children. Module 2 looks at news, information, and the problems of false information. So fake news, as it can sometimes be referred to. Again, this is a really important topic. It isn't just confined to America. We are seeing the real world implications of why spreading false information is a problem. We only have to look at the pandemic, that, you know, whether it's false information being spread in relation to government responses, or the spread of false information around vaccines. It's a really important topic for all of our general public to be educated in, but particularly our young people. So that module helps young people recognize false information and understand why spreading false information is a problem. Module 3 looks at big data and the data economy. So this kind of looks at what types of information you share online, how that can build a profile about you, how companies can use that information, profit from that information, but also the benefits to sharing all this data, how this can improve our lives and improve our worlds. Module 2 and Module 3 are supported by 2 excellent explainer videos, what is false information and what is big data. They're scripted by a media literacy expert, and the big data video was scripted by UK social media analyst Carl Miller, who you'd often see on Channel 4 News or contributing to BBC reports on voting and spreading of false information. They're really excellent supports to the program. Module 4 is about young people's rights online in the digital world, and there's a great quiz in there to help students understand the law online as well, which can have a lot of grey areas. It's not so clear sometimes. And then module 5 is the assessment part of the program, and there's suggested assessments based on the content of the previous modules. I should say all our resources are available in Irish, and they're free, and they're all approved and reviewed by the inspectorate in the department. We also do them in consultation with NCSE as well. So there's information on adapting the lessons, things like that as well. The next resource we have is the Lockers program, and this week this program is particularly relevant. As you may know, the Minister for Justice, Helen McEntee, commenced Coco's Law, which came into force yesterday. So Lockers deals with the non-consensual sharing of intimate images, so sexting among minors. This is an important program. The first half of this program includes information for schools on dealing with sexting incidents, so considerations for school policy, considerations for how to deal with an incident, and also the legal framework. And the second half of the program is a junior cycle SPHE RSE resource. This contains 6 lessons, which firstly look at the law, and also look at some really important topics that arise around sexting incidents, which are really important conversation and topics to explore with our teenagers and young people. So those are things like consent, victim blaming, media influence, gender stereotyping. And the final module looks at pathways for support and help seeking as well, which is really, really important. And it's also supported by excellent video materials, activity sheets. The Be in Control resource is a great follow-on actually from the Lockers programme, because this looks at the criminal aspects of image sharing, so online sexual coercion and extortion, or webcam blackmail, or online grooming, as it can also be known as. This is linked to the Garda Schools programme, so lesson 1 can be delivered by the guards. The aim of this programme, I suppose, is to kind of highlight these crimes, online grooming and webcam blackmail, as crimes, highlight the strategies that can be used to target people online, provide practical, clear steps for young people to practice safe online communication, and also to practice assertive communication, another really important skill for young people to learn, being able to say no as well. And again, that the pathways for support and help seeking, what to do if this happens to you, who you can turn to, where to get help. That's also supported by some excellent video materials developed by Europol, and there's a really great, powerful campaign video called Be in Control. Cyberbullying is another topic that we explore in our resources, and there is an anti-bullying program also available. The Up to Us anti-bullying program, it's another resource available from Webwise. So those are the current post-primary resources we offer. For primary, we have 3 main resources. The first one is the HTML Heroes program for 3rd and 4th class. This is a lovely, bright, colourful, engaging digital media literacy program. It contains 8 lessons, and it can be accessed online, so it can be accessed digitally. So it's a good program for remote learning at the minute. And it explores the kind of first steps of accessing the internet, safe searching, those key safety messages. We teach children about practicing safe communication and asking for help. And it also explores themes like privacy and security online, and also looks at commercial aspects like online advertising and false information. Not everything we see online is real. It's supported by 4 lovely animations that explore, what going online, what is false information, what is online advertising, and there's one on cyberbullying as well. You'll see our 2 little the stars of the show, Ruby and Archie. They perform catchy internet safety raps in the animation, so there's something that the students really do engage with. They're a great kind of starting conversation for that program as well. We have a new resource available via our website as well. It's called All Aboard for DigiTown, and this is a learning path for 9 to 12-year-olds. It's a digital citizenship program. It explores 10 different themes of digital citizenship, everything from online well-being to privacy to respectful communication to commercial aspects. And that's actually an activity sheet booklet, again, another useful material for us when we're engaged in remote learning. Finally, there's the My Selfie resource. That's another anti-bullying program available for primary schools. It specifically looks at the topic of cyberbullying. So, identifies what cyberbullying is, the roles people play in cyberbullying, how young people can respond, the importance of practicing respectful communication online. And it also looks at the topic of image sharing as well, which is a really, really important topic to explore, and it's done in a very age and stage appropriate way. There's also some lovely animations in there that explore topics of image sharing, exclusion, and how bullying feels as well. Again, these are all linked to the SPHE curriculum. There's step-by-step instructions in the resources, supporting activity sheets, materials, and instructions, and outlines for differentiation as well. So as I mentioned, we also have resources for parents. A big part of our work is providing homeschool links, and we know we're constantly, when in any of our conversations with teachers, we know parents come looking to you for guidance in this area. So what I would say is that we are a support to help bridge that gap and provide information and support for parents. So we have a dedicated hub for parents, webwise.ie/parents. There is lots of helpful information and advice in there. There's expert advice videos answering questions like, is my child spending too much time online, or how do I talk to my child about consent or image sharing? And these videos were done in partnership with parenting experts, education experts, academics, researchers, child psychologists. There's some excellent supports available there. There's a Get Informed section, which goes is a explainer's guide of the kind of most popular apps children and teens are using. So those are everything from Roblox, Fortnite, Among Us, which became really popular this year, TikTok, Snapchat. They're kind of jargon-free guides for parents that help just in plain English explain what the app is, why children like it, you know, how they can be safe using the app and some of the safety concerns around those. There's advice articles. There's also talking points, conversation starters for some of the trickier or more sensitive topics like image sharing or making friends online. Really useful kind of pointers for parents to start those really important conversations. There's also very practical how-to guides. So how to set up parental controls, how to update privacy settings in Instagram. And we also have our Parents Guide to Better Internet that can be downloaded directly off our website. And we do normally send them out in hard copy for schools. We're currently out of print, but we will have them available in the coming months. There's checklists, and we also have scripted presentations for schools who maybe are interested in hosting a parents information evening, and those presentations kind of are a good introduction to parents of where to get help, where to get support, what the issues are. I should also say our partners, the National Parents Council, offer training as well for parents, and that can be accessed via their website as well. So I'm conscious that we're coming up to the end of the presentation, and I know I can see there is a few questions in there. So we might take a few minutes for questions before we get wrapped up. So I'm just going to put up the last slide though, so everybody can see those kind of links and where we talked about some of the resources. So we do have a contact email there. It's internetsafety@pdst.ie. You can email us with any queries there. All of the information and our resources can be accessed via our website and ordered for free via our website, webwise.ie. I mentioned some of the distance learning supports that are available for schools at the start of this, and they can be accessed via pdst.ie/distance learning, and the virtual drop-in clinics can be booked through there as well. I mentioned 2 free online CPD courses, and they're also available through teacherscpd.ie as well. So Katrina, I might just check in with you there on the questions.
Yeah, no problem, Jane. I am conscious of time as well, so I'm going to try and amalgamate as many of them as I can. Just a lot of them, you might have actually answered it there in the last few minutes, are around the resources and how and where to get them. But also some people wondering about recommendations for online classes, which I suppose, given the current circumstances, is very current, you know.
Yeah, oh, brilliant. So we actually have developed scripted presentations for schools, and we developed 2 presentations for Safer Internet Day this week. So I might actually go on to the website and show where all that stuff can be accessed from. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen and go on to the website.
Just while you're getting that up there, Jane, I might advise the teachers that all our resources contain videos that can be used for discussion points in online classes on online safety topics. And all our resources contain instructions around each of the activities and these discussions on online safety topics, along with the worksheets that can be all downloaded from our website as well.
Thanks, Tracy. So hopefully you can see the website there, and look, that's all the sections. We talk through our Parents Hub, our teachers section as well. Under the advice section in teachers, you'll find information and advice on remote learning considerations, safety advice for delivering live lessons as well. Under this is our Get Resources tab here. This is where you can order and access all of the resources I spoke about this evening. So the DigiTime resource that can be downloaded or ordered directly there. You'll see there Connected HTML Heroes, which is a digital resource. So I might click into that in a minute. I'll scroll on down to our Safer Internet Day presentations for schools. These are ready-made scripted presentations that schools can address internet safety topics. So there's one for post-primary and there's one for primary. The post-primary one looks at the topic of online well-being, and there's activities built in there and everything's ready to go. So all you have to do is download, and the script and everything's there, and there's one available for primary as well. So you can access them via the Get Resources tab. And I'll just go into the HTML Heroes program. So you'll see here it's a fully digital program, and you can take the pupils through kind of step-by-step activities on that program. It's a really fantastic program. All the steps are there, and there's kind of drag and drop activities, things like that. So it's a great one for doing remotely as well, and the animations are brilliant as well. And I know this week we actually have a great seesaw activity available, and that's up on our social media sites, a seesaw activity for Safer Internet Day. So if you check our social media channels, it can be accessed there as well. So I might just go over to our parents section as well, so you can have a look at that.
Some questions coming in too, Jane, about the SID Ambassador program and details around that.
Oh, brilliant. Thanks, Katrina. So yeah, the SID Ambassador program is a post-primary program for post-primary students. So we recruit for that every September, October time. And I suppose that program is open to all post-primary students. And the idea of it is in the 2 months running up to Safer Internet Day, we provide free training and resources for students to lead online safety initiatives in their own school for Safer Internet Day. It's a really great program for giving students a lead in online safety, and that will be open again in September, October time, and it covers, it's a peer-led training initiative, so it's supported by our youth panel. We do see some wonderful outcomes from that program as well. So this is our Parents Hub as well, which I spoke about, and here you see all the sections we have in it are listen to the experts, get informed, so all the different apps and social media platforms children and teens might be using, everything from Zoom to Among Us, TikTok, Snapchat. Our advice section on answering some really important questions, you know, what is false information, advice and practice in safe online communication. You'll also see our talking points as well. So promoting self-esteem online, a really important one, and Tracy took you through the online well-being topic earlier as well. Also on accessing inappropriate content and image sharing, our how-to guides, and finally our parent guide can be downloaded there as well.
Jane, also some people wondering whether the slides will be available from the presentation afterwards.
Yes. So yeah. If you email, I'm going to put up the final links at the end there. So if you email us, we can send out the slides. So I'll just share the final link so you can see the. Yeah. So if you send us an email to internetsafety@pdst.ie, we'll send out slides, a copy of the presentation. And if you do have any other questions, we'd be happy to answer them. We also have a really great newsletter as well. That's a great way of keeping up to date on advice and new resources as well. I should mention for primary, we do have a new resource coming out in the next few months for first and second class. So this is really the first steps of going online, accessing the internet, and that'll be supported by 5 short illustrated stories as well. So another really great resource to look out for over the coming months as well. So I'm conscious that we're coming to the end of the presentation. I hope you find that useful. We will be launching a poll. We would ask you to take a minute. There's only a couple of questions to complete it. We hope the information was useful, and please do take note of those links, and please do submit any questions to us by email if there was something we didn't get to or something you would like to find out more information on, and please do order our resources. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks, Jane and Katrina. I'll just leave the poll up for another few seconds, but feel free to leave the webinar whenever you like. Thank
Thanks
you.
very much, Roisin.
Thanks very much. It was
Good
a brilliant.
evening. Thanks all.
Thanks.
Thanks,
night.
Roisin.
Thanks a lot.
Take care.
Thank you. Thank you all. I will now close the polling. Thank you for attending tonight. The webinar will now end.